Yeah, I think it was Seth Godin that I picked this up from, but he I saw something like a what do you call it? Like a TED talk or something that he was doing on YouTube, and he said, like, if I told you that Nike was building a hotel right now, you could envision what that's going to look like.
Yep.
You could envision what that atmosphere and all that, like, you could see it in your head without even, you know what I mean?
That's cool.
Physically. But you can't say that this, like if I was going to do, if this car dealership was going to do something, like there's just that brand feel to it just doesn't exist.
That's a great illustration. Yeah. Not only could you envision it, but you would book a room and expect that it would be great. Even though it's hospitality, which is not making sneakers, right? You would assume that, like, look, if Porsche decided to make a pair of high-end headphones, you would assume that it was gonna, like, the materials would be good and there'd be a bit of a luxury experience to it. You would assume that they would figure out what they needed to make sure they sounded great, right? Like, that's building brand. Like, Porsche should make some headphones because they should.
I agree. They probably shit, but
I love that. No, but we think of the same thing. Like, when you think about ASOTU, right? What we're trying to build, like, we are trying to instill, like, build whatever we're building on the back of brand. Like, we want people to say the feeling that I get when it's an ASOTU fill in the blank is going to be the one I want to move toward, and everyone's going to have their different affiliations. And some dealers have done an amazing job with that. Some dealer groups have done an amazing job with that, but it always starts on the micro, right? You look at a Carvana does it from the macro, right? They're starting with a big principle, and the value proposition isn't buy a car online. The value proposition is don't buy a car from a salesperson. That's their value prop, right? And what they did was they made fun marketing. They pounded that message. They put billboards all around the cities they wanted to move into to raise awareness, right? And that's how they raised awareness and built the brand and built the feeling around what it must be like to do business with Carvana, right? Don't ask the thousands of people who had messed up titles and all that stuff, because on the billboard, it's got a car with a little halo over it, right? And so that's from the top down. And that, as we see in stock price, right, that popularity and that actual business model is very volatile. When you build it from the ground up, from the dealership model, it's actually very sturdy and it's very lasting. And things can go wrong and economies can crash. But the reason those publicly traded car companies on that stock chart over time stayed strong and stayed going up is because there's a dealership in every community across the country, right, that is investing in that community and is in the dirt. And so the potential for retail automotive is huge. Even the brand of retail automotive right now, the brand of retail automotive in the public perception is not a great one, right? I think we're making our way back, but there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I was talking to a dealer the other day, and I was like, we were looking at his media, and I was like, not one of these commercials that you have, not one showcases the perspective of your employee. It's all about the customer, which is great. Like, but you gotta show your employee. You gotta show that your employee wakes up every day and he has a family, and your employee goes to work and he's thinking about, hey, I want to do a good job. I want to, how are you going to break the stereotype if you don't tell the story from his perspective?
Heck I'm having some roofing work done today, which is the whole thing. But they send you like pictures of your plywood under your shingles. We're going to need to replace these, right? Like, what am I going to say? Like, no, right? But the point is, like, when you're picking, like, say it was a roofing contractor, if I saw social media content of the roofing contractor employees enjoying their job and taking pride in what they do and having their families, guess who I'm picking? I want those guys on my roof. You're right, near my family, protecting my house, because I feel like they understand and they're contributors. That is a great illustration, and it's a great point.
Yeah, like we gotta start to tell the story from the employee side too, man. He's a human being. He has goals and objectives, and he has a family, and he's part of a community. And you got to tell that story. You gotta show the roots of why, what the differentiator is. And as far as the Carvana thing, I mean, not to keep beating on that, but just kind of one lasting thought on that is that, I mean, that it's for all the stuff that we talk about, it's still good for the industry because it's different, right? It's a different approach that's going to lead to progress. It's going to lead.
It's an informed approach too.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't just wake up one day and say like,
Right.
I wonder, I bet this will work. Right. Like, no, it's like incredibly informed with consumer data. Right. So yes, I love the point you're making because it's informed. Like it's actually the thing where like the person tells you the truth because they're not, they don't have any vested interest. Then they're like, hey, everybody hates this.
Yeah.
Right? If it's not everybody, it seems like everybody.
That's the point. That's where I was getting to, because do we have enough data now to say that I buy a car every 5 years or whatever. Am I going to, if I do it one time through Carvana for the novelty of it or whatever, just for the experience of it, am I going to be a repeat customer of that model? Maybe, to your point, like there's a lot of negative reviews on that experience. Am I really going to subject myself to that if next time I'm due, the automotive industry has an alternative that's better than what we currently have right now and better than what Carvana is offering? You know what I mean? So it's too soon to kind of tell, in my opinion.